Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena, and you're joining us tonight for a litany of Rocket League in both CRL and NACE Star League Last Chance qualifiers. The Broncos have been on a tear this season. We'll look if they can continue their winning streak, as we'll start out with CRL versus Colorado State. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, and I am joined by one of the OG GOATs of Boise State Esports, back with us at the arena, Adam Chizu McGuire. It is great to have you with us. Been such a while. I'm sure you can remember back in the early days of the program, it almost seemed like it was a dream to even qualify for the CRL. And now, tell me how good the Broncos have been doing, because it has been don't have words for it.
To quote a famous movie that's probably older than you are, The Fifth Element, Mr. Ruby says they are hot, hot, hot right now, leading the West as far as CRL is concerned. A great record, haven't lost a series yet, and they're looking to continue that streak tonight. As you mentioned, back in the day, this was something that they could only dream of, and now it is a tangible opportunity for them to not only show up and play, but to dominate, and they're looking to continue to do so tonight, so I'm glad to see it come to fruition.
Boise State, though, isn't out of the woods yet, because while they are doing well in CRL, they still have quite a ways to go in NACE LCQ. We'll get to that match later, but we are starting out with CRL. Boise State has quite a reputation to live up to. Made it to Worlds last year. Was a big trip, a lot of publicity for Boise State Esports. Didn't quite get past the first couple of rounds, though,
Sure.
So maybe they want to improve, go a little bit further this time, but they got to have a really good season in order to secure their qualifiers.
Listen, and you got such a great, unbelievably well-rounded team. You got Durtho, who can put it in from just about anywhere as far as that ball in the net, weird angles from the left and right corners, and of course can just snipe it out of the air with absolute ease. Preston, Woozy as well on top of everything. I really like what I've been seeing from their play as far as this year is concerned. Yeah, last year, but don't worry about that. You come full force into the next year, and you can see it paying off. Yeah, a little stumble last time, but now we are full-fledged Usain Bolt on the way to what I can conceivably see be another handful of wins for the Broncos.
Well, whether it was back in 2017 with an exhibition match to start it all out, or here at CRL, the same rules that you want to follow to perform stand true. There are docs keys to the game in Rocket League, and that's to create mistakes, punish double commits, don't overstay, and bump opponents to disrupt. It's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming. You can play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and online paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Getting ready to head down to the virtual field in this best of 5. It's not going to be too much longer that the Broncos will have the luxury of playing in best of 5s, getting into the postseason.
Sure.
We're going to go the whole way best of 7. Their next opponent in CRL is Colorado State, classic regional rival of the Broncos. I always like when you get into these regional rivalries.
Well, absolutely. And again, as we mentioned, the Broncos like to play fast, and they don't mess around. When they are gifted an opportunity, they come back for seconds, and I have a feeling we'll be seeing a lot of that. They mentioned punish the double commits. These guys will punish you for looking the wrong way, and it continues to impress me game after game, and I have a feeling that Colorado, again, is going to have their work cut out for them, and we'll see what happens here as we start off. Woozy looking to get something there as Preston will put it up on the left-hand side of the wall, as Durtho has an opportunity, has a look, get a little fancy with it, and not getting the touch he would have liked, but this will set up Preston for a chance to slow things down here for just a moment.
Double commit by Colorado State. Seeing them get a good touch on it. Durtho is going to keep the side control. Nice redirect by Woozy, setting it up for Preston. Shot on goal, saved by Vidge. Boise State, though, still maintaining a lot of possession of the ball. Woozy's going to drive it around the corner again, try to set it up for a dunk down. Perfectly aimed. Preston scores, and Boise State's on the board.
And Colorado State just couldn't even leave their side of the field, just stuck in net on that back post rotation. Preston comes up. Durtho even said, hey, maybe I can do this a little left or right note going in between, and they find the back of the net.
Boise State now up 1. We're into the second kickoff of the game. Durtho and Shu both try to cheat. Shu's going to get the touch on it, send it into the blue field. Big opportunity for Vidge. Colorado State not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, and just right off the kickoff here, you can see Colorado State just has all the priority they need. That touch, unfortunate to say the very least. Preston and Durtho just watched that one come flying right by. Lower left corner is going to squeeze it on in. We got ourselves a tie game, and 30 seconds haven't even passed.
Next kickoff. Pinched off to the side. Woozy gets a demo on Shu. Preston will be back on the field to keep the shot going from Vidge.
Dangerous.
It's off the crossbar. And Shu gets a touch to send it all the way back to Boise's corner. Shu trying to play above Durtho. Vidge also sets it up for H. Bit too high for them to score. Game still tied.
Yeah, a little bit too much speed there, so it comes just railing off the backboard there. Preston able to get somewhat of a stop as Durtho's able to push this one up on the right-hand side. Preston should be able to corral this. Instead, he's just going to steal the big boost and peel on out of there. Shu now looking to kind of maintain some aggression there, but is not able to do so as Vidge. Preston 50 going to go in favor of Boise State.
But it is still up for grabs in terms of overall ball position. Durtho takes it away from Shu. Gonna go a little bit to the right of the goal. Woozy whips, but it still goes in. Okay, maybe it wasn't. I need to see the replay again because this is such a weird touch.
Well, that demolition that started this off that you can't see on camera actually causes a whole massive amount of panic there. Vision Shu are forced to try to make some kind of play there, and it's just not going to work out in their favor as Boise State's able to cut it in sharp angle and find the second one of this first game.
Apologies to Woozy. Of course it wasn't a whip. That was just the touch he was looking for. Demo in midair. Both Shu and Durtho. Guess you could call that a 50-50 demo if there ever was one. Vidge heading up above his own goal. H going to go back for 100 boost. Now Durtho meeting Vidge in midfield. Broncos are getting... They're going to have to save this one. H puts a shot on goal, but it is quite slow. Woozy gets a touch. Broncos now on the counter. Durtho misses that shot, and this is dangerous. Broncos leave an open goal, and Colorado State capitalizes.
Yeah, an interesting decision here. The touch here in the mid just is not what you were looking for, or lack of a touch for that matter. Vidge is just gifted that one right there. It's able to roll it in. Best Fred Durst impression. It's rolling into the back of the net. And that's going to equalize things here with 3:06 to go.
Next kickoff, Durtho gets the better of it. Vidge up the wall, gonna get one touch on it, goes for two, and the flip reset doesn't find it. Ball's gonna die just a little bit near Boise State's defensive third. Shu gets the touch on it before Durtho can. Preston's gonna try to take control of this, and the ball's now, I would have said Boise State might have been able to score, but H was able to stop that centering. Push the Broncos back on defense a little.
Slick.
Durtho, though, this is what he specializes in. He's gonna set it up for Woozy, and the shot is blocked, but they follow up again from Preston. And then Durtho finds it.
What a sequence of events right there for the Boise State Broncos. This all starts off of a beautiful back pass on the Broncos side of things. No one gives up on this ball, and that's including the defenders. Everyone trying, but no one finding anything but the Broncos there to take the lead 3-2.
Well, it's been quite an energetic first half. We are halfway through the game as we head up on the 2-minute, 30-second mark. Broncos are going to find a little bit of pressure forced onto them. Preston looking for the clear. Nice redirect by Durtho to juke it around Shu. Boise State gaining a lot of ground on that play. Shu's going to get a touch on it. Durtho trying to take it away from him, but Shu outplays, passes to Vidge. He's going to take possession of the ball, drive it around Boise's corner. Doesn't find his centering, though, and Boise is going to get a bit of space back for themselves.
Gets staunched right there by Shu, who just has no more momentum to do anything other than watch his teammate carry this one up. Finally, something there from Colorado State is Arch is going to be moved off of the field, absolutely destroyed. Why not make it to a destruction of just the ages right there? Durtho just gives it the boot here off the backboard and up, but not able to find much. A secondary set. Woozy finds the top right corner and buries it for Boise State. 2-4 Boise.
Just a tough situation. H commits too fast on the save. Waited in the goal maybe a few seconds later would have put him in position, but he was already way past the ball by the time it crossed that goal line.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll get here into the kickoff. Woozy gets the little bit of the momentum here, but Durtho now coming up off the top as Vidge is going to stop him in his tracks. Nice little pass off of the wall and a last-second save will deny the Broncos their fifth of this game. Durtho just comes rolling around like some kind of Fast and the Furious chase scene as Woozy looks to fire on, but is going to be turned away by Colorado State's defense.
H with possession of the ball, plays around Preston. Woozy coming in to take the ball away from him in Boise State's corner. Preston plays it off the wall, trying to find a clear. It's blocked by Shu. Vidge sets it up for H. Shot on goal, blocked by Preston before it's even a factor. And the counterattack by Woozy could be a dunk on the goal, but he can't play off the backboard because Shu is able to stop it.
Yeah, Shu was able to get there just in time. Durtho now popping this one up as Vidge is going to return the favor. Preston should be able to pop this one out and does so in such an amazing fashion here. A little pinch right here, but Woozy is going to find that one as H puts this in a dangerous spot, but Vidge is going to be up before any of the Broncos as Durtho also returns in kind. Shu tries to put something on, but just can't find the angle he's looking for. As now we kind of just have this neutral game state here. Vidge puts this one on, but there's no one there to receive it.
Durtho starts off the wall, finds his flip reset, but goes down to the ground too fast. H takes possession of it. Preston tries to steal, still in the hands of the Rams as they move up the field to Boise State's corner. H going to try to ground this for a shot, but Durtho is going to put a stop to that and push it back past the midfield marker toward the goal. Vidge saves. Durtho trying again to set it up, but Colorado State doesn't want this lead to get any bigger for the Broncos.
It looks like Preston's going to get up and receive that pass right there. Looking for a Colorado State member, but not going to find it as the Broncos break up that play. And it's going to be game number 1 without question going to the side of the Boise State Broncos. Maybe a little bit of style points here. Durtho just going to let this one fall to the ground. And as I mentioned, Boise State takes game number 1-4 and looks dang good while doing it. H needs to find a way into this as the Boise State Broncos kind of even across the board as you look at all those accolades.
You were talking a little bit at the beginning of this game of the Broncos' ability to punish. I think one of the things that they'll punish you most on is if you can't play in the air along with they can, because especially Durtho is just known for his insane getting a double touch, flip reset, then carrying it on for a solo play into the goal. And I got to give the Rams credit. There were a lot of shots that the Broncos tried to get that they were able to read perfectly and stop in midair.
Right, well, and not only that, it's just the aggression from Boise State comes from anywhere. We mentioned that one of those goals that came off and broke the tie, that third one, if I'm not mistaken, came from a back pass, just kind of taking that half second, breathing, realizing where your opponents are, and your teammates as well, but then being able to use the mechanical side as well to put yourself in such an advantageous situation that your opponent is just on the back foot, stuck in their own goal.
Still, the base stats are the base stats, and I was counting 10 or 11 shots on goal for the Broncos to Colorado State's 3 or 4, so kind of 65% in the Broncos' favor. That's definitely how they want to keep things going. As we head back on down to Neo-Tokyo, Boise State versus Colorado State, Broncos versus the Rams, the regional Rocky rivalry in CRL. The Broncos looking to carry this into Game 2. Will they be able to perform a sweep? I don't think the Rams want to try that. They want to push this to at least a Game 4 or maybe even 5.
You know, that's kind of always the hope. You want to play more games, and you also want those games to be in your favor, so we'll see what happens. I mean, last time we were just talking about this, you and I were on desk, we had a 14-minute overtime, so...
Yes.
See what happens? That's a great kickoff right there as far as Colorado State is concerned, but Boise stops it in its tracks as quickly as it was theirs. It is removed, and a great shot there by Woozy. Isn't going to find the back of the net, but certainly had Colorado questioning what was going on there, as Durtho will receive this side from the Broncos.
H plays off the wall, isn't able to get the second touch on it. Durtho driving it up the field. Going to run right into Vidge, passes it to H. Ball set up, but Woozy is going to be the defensive player. H trying to center it. Shu and Vidge for a possible follow-up. Preston reads it, takes it away from Colorado State. Right now, no major shots on goal, but a lot of playing in midfield, trying to get greater possession.
Yeah, Woozy here should be able to grab this off the wall. Is able to do so, so it gives the Broncos a half second to collect themselves, but Durtho just buries that one off the left-hand side. It's a wide-open net, but no Broncos there to receive it, as H is able to turn it away for a quick second. Woozy slowing down, getting up in the air, and off of the back right side will set up for Durtho, who's going to peel on back and reset on the defensive side as Colorado begins to strike. Preston here up and over. No one's touching this ball. Shot is turned away, not only by the Broncos, but by the own Colorado State player as well, as H will now have an opportunity. This has got something, but Preston stops it in its tracks.
Woozy and Durtho look on as Preston sets it up for him. Durtho gets the touch to push the ball toward Colorado State's corner. Can the centering play come out? And H is going to say no. Pass it to Shu. Preston trying to defend. He just gets demoed, and the Rams go into the early lead.
This is a great sequence right here from Colorado State. A beautiful pass. Shu says, well, I can get fancy with it, as Boise State kind of decides which way to go with that. You can't do much when you're not on the field. So great demolition there. Opens up the floodgates. Colorado with their first lead of the day.
I dare say, Doc's not their coach, but they sure took his keys to the game of demoing to disrupt too hard. Durtho is going to get a save, push it over to the side. Broncos looking for their clear. Goes back to midfield. Vidge doesn't quite get the touch he was looking for. Shu trying to defend. Boise State is going to put a demo back onto the Rams. H going down to Woozy. While that happened, though, the Broncos lost a bit of field presence. They're defending again, and they don't want this lead to get any greater.
Yeah, again, a nice opportunity there for the side of Colorado State. They're not able to do much there. And again, slowing it down. Instead, Durtho carrying it over, looking fancy while doing so. Isn't going to get the shot on net, but certainly had Colorado panicking. Another pop-up here as Vij is able to carry this one up and over. Boise State net is open, but Durtho's able to put that one in the corner, rotating from back post all the way through. Woozy not able to get the touch, but Durtho rifles this one back to the opposite corner.
Vij looks up the field. The pass to H a little bit off. Boise State answers it back. Stopped at midfield. Preston to defend. Gets one touch and it plays it off the wall. Vij whiffs. Huge opening for the Broncos. They move past midfield. Mark Shu looking to regroup with the Rams to stop the Broncos from finding an equalizer.
Preston should be able to rotate through. A possible stop, and it goes right past him. Durtho able to stop the momentum. Woozy with a little chip shot here. Looking for the second touch as Durtho not able to get there. Woozy up and off of the backboard. And that one is turned away there by Vij. This one's going to center out. Preston's going to fire on. H just happens to be exactly where he needs to be as Durtho bounces this one off of the right-hand side corner while his teammate Preston pulls on back to defend and pick up the big boost.
Preston sets it up with a touch. Shu stops it in midfield. Pass to H. Intercepted by Preston. Big fight in midfield. A bump from the Broncos going to drive the Rams back a little bit. Give the Broncos a little bit of breathing room to try to find a clear. Vij passes up the field. Broncos go too far up and they get punished again.
Yeah, and we'll have to take another look at this to see who it was. Woozy peels on back, picks up the big boost on the way through. Vij doesn't even need to be there for the defense as that one comes out just not in favor of Boise State and rather wide open net for Colorado, and they don't mess that one up. You can't leave the net open like that as they will take advantage of it. Colorado State up 2.
Boise State has roughly 45 seconds for each goal. Plenty of time to work with, but the Rams have been quite a thorn in their side for game 2. Gonna try to play it past their goal. Some dangerous positioning by Durtho, almost punished by the Rams. They walk away from that one, but they are hanging on by a thread. Can Woozy get the shot here? He drives it right in from across the field.
What started is one of the most tragic situations of all time. I thought for sure that was going to the Boise State net. Woozy says, check this one out. Just carries it the whole way, slips it on through, give him the double dragons. Boise State within striking distance with 1:16 remaining.
Next kickoff, Durtho moves to cheat up, gets a whole lot of space for the Broncos. Looking to play before a clear can go through. Ball's in midfield. Can Boise State stop it? Can you change side control? They sure can. But the 50, Colorado State gets the better of it, gets a bit of ground off of it, and Shu has a big shot blocked by Preston. Broncos have 1 minute left to tie this up.
Woozy's going to be able to put that one off of the wall, so that 90-degree angle should give Durtho an opportunity. Durtho to Woozy. Woozy denied by Vij. What a play from the Broncos, but not able to finish it. Instead, they take it on the second attempt, and the passing plays from these guys are unrelenting.
Oftentimes, Boise State can dribble it so well, you think it's going to be a forceful shot into the goal, but oftentimes you're driving right beside the ball. A sideways flick can be enough to get it in. A goal's a goal, and the Broncos now have 45 seconds to get a lead and end game 2 up.
How many opportunities are the Broncos just going to be given? Again, it's just the onslaught of shots, these passing plays. Preston up, Durtho going to push through. Vij is there, is able to avoid the demolition, but Woozy looking for something. Short little chip, it's up, it's in, and Woozy takes the lead with 28 seconds left for the Boise State Broncos. What an absolute stellar play.
He was the one to put them back in the game with the Broncos' first goal, and now he puts them into the lead. Broncos leading with a little under half a minute left, could go to match point if they get this.
Yeah, Colorado just falling apart at the seams right now. There's a face-off that doesn't even go in their direction. What seemed to be so good just seems to be the wheels falling off of the axle here. Preston puts this one up as H is able to push this one away. Durtho should be there to receive it. That 50 going in favor of H there. Shu puts this one up and to the left as Vij tries to find something. Can't do it. 10 seconds remain. Preston just has to keep this one up. Durtho lying in wait his best. Miles Morales steal and stops that one as well off the left-hand side, and that is going to be that, barring a miracle. Boise State down for most of the game, finds a way to bring it on back. Preston fires on. H puts that one up, and that is his undoing. This ball just doesn't want to touch the ground. It's floor phobic, man. Pushed back into the corner. The Colorado State Rams are not done yet, but Preston puts it on the ground. It's game 2 for Boise State.
GGs go out, and Boise State sitting on the precipice of a match win. They want to keep their perfect streak going. And I think that last match was emblematic of how how exciting this semester has been across everything, because obviously when you're in CRL regular season, all the teams have had to compete in qualifiers. You got top-tier talent evenly matched going up against each other. But even in other divisions, such as NACE, who has made a real effort to, in their divisions, pair Division I schools against Division I schools, there have been a lot more nail-biting close matches, and I am all for it this semester.
Well, and that's one of those frustrating things where you reset the mental where, 2 goals very quickly from the side of Colorado State, and then slowly, piece by piece, Boise State is able to whittle them down, able to find opportunities, and Woozy just had absolutely peppered that net, left, right, in between, and was able to bring them back. The equalizer was there, and a game winner, that'll feel pretty good for the Broncos, possibly even demoralizing for the side of Colorado State. So again, these are best of 5s. You do have an opportunity to bust out those brooms, reverse sweep it back, but right now the Broncos are looking real good, even when they're looking at their lowest.
Broncos now are just 1 game away from taking it all. Can they get the victory and move on to the CRL finals?
There's so many gems in the background.
I know. All of a sudden, that was beautiful.
It's gemception. Love it. But yes, Broncos, 1 more game. They're feeling it. And Colorado State, again, they have signs of life. We don't need to bust out the defibrillator quite yet. Anything can happen as we head to the field once again. As we mentioned, Broncos have not dropped a series yet, and it looks like they may not drop a game against Colorado State, but anything happens once you hit Neo Tokyo. And again, just such a stellar series so far. We'll see what happens here in game number 3. We're jumping right into it.
Boise State already pressured a bit up against their goal. Durtho starts his dribble, takes it to midfield. Vidge going to pass it to H, who's in the passing lane.
Nice.
The give and go misses.
No.
And a shot on goal that the Rams could have started out with goes by the wayside.
An unfortunate whiff right there. It had all of the makings of a beautiful play, but just not able to make that second connection. Side of the Colorado State Rams here, as Boise's still on the back foot, not able to get themselves anywhere they would like to be, starving as far as boost is concerned. You see that Colorado State is just feasting on all of those big boosts. Boise now has a bit of a leg to stand on. Shot is just too high. It's almost like Colorado State's just coming in too hot. That's a weird bounce. That one goes in as H is able to squeeze that one by for a quick second. It looked like it didn't have any momentum to cross that line, but H comes up. Woozy gets a piece, roof, floor, and all points in between, like some kind of home inspection.
That was just a perfect demonstration of why rotations positioning is so important. It is so hard to find a clear or reposition your car if you don't have forward momentum, and the Broncos caught up in their old goal. Couldn't drive into the ball, but they should drive it in that time as Woozy right off the kickoff puts the Broncos back.
I must have the vapors because I'm getting a little woozy. Goes up but takes it low. A nice little chip over Vidge, and Shu just has to watch as that one flutters in for the side of Boise State. As quickly as they found a lead, they lose it. Boise State now equalizes the game with 4:04 to go.
Durtho looking to pass to Preston in the corner. Preston's going to leave it. Broncos going to slow play this a little bit, just try to get some better positioning. Ball's back at midfield. Preston rotates in, not able to take it away from H, however.
What
it's
a
set
shot.
up. Woozy can only let it go by and pray that there isn't a follow-up from the Rams. There isn't, so Broncos still tied 1 apiece. About 3 minutes, 30 seconds left. Another dangerous shot comes through by the Rams.
Yeah, and again, it just seems like Colorado State is just coming in way too fast. They can't get this ball where they want it. They're maybe looking for second touch kind of plays, but Boise State is able to get a man back just in time. This one's up. Durtho smacks that one down, and a beautiful little pinch will give the Broncos a second to breathe. Vidge runs into his own teammate because, why not? And that might be what I'm talking about. They're just too fast with little control, be it on the field or in the air. See, this one comes up, turned around, but Woozy is there to turn it. This one chipped above, and Preston is able to corral off the roof as Shu redirects this to his teammate.
You say it's running into your own teammate. I'm going to say it's a love tap to build team morale. Colorado State still in the running here, tied 1 apiece. Caught up against their own goal, however. They're going to have to find a clear, tries to pinch it off the wall, doesn't get the speed he was looking for. It's going to be left to Shu. Doesn't have much boost to work with, but Vidge comes in, and his shot is blocked by Woozy. Boise State just holding down this possession mercilessly.
Durtho does a good job to put that one into the corner, which allows for Preston to pick up that big boost and carry this forward, but Durtho forced to make a save there. An absolute sniper rifle of a shot there from Colorado State. H now looking at this one, not sure where to put it. The corner seems seems like the best option here. Shu pinching it off the wall. Durtho has an angle. It's up, it's in, and two members of Colorado State were flying in the air, holding hands, and just leave it wide open for Boise State. Let's take another look at this one real quick. Durtho just finds it in the midfield, and yeah, H and Viz just hanging out, chilling. Leave the net wide open for the Broncos.
Still plenty of time to bring it back, however. 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Shu gets a little bit better at that kickoff. Durtho quickly follows up, and now it's a fierce fight in middle for possession. Woozy's going to back pass. That leaves it open to Colorado State. They push it in there.
Yeah, that is just absolutely textbook from the side of Colorado State. Woozy, for some reason, feels like putting it off the side of his own wall. That leaves the floodgates wide open for Colorado State to push through. All members of Boise State there on the right-hand side. And that is easy peasy to equalize this one up at 2:06. We'll see how this one unfolds. This one again fired on. Woozy takes a half second and is able to be the savior of the Boise State Broncos. As Vidge is going to come up, Preston's going to put this one on net, and that should allow the Broncos to recollect themselves as Colorado State finds a way to push themselves on up. A demo, though, not going to feel too great if you're the Rams.
Viz fresh off the respawn, coming up the field. Preston plays it around one. Viz stops at midfield, leaves it for H. Shot back toward Boise State's goal. Shots too high for Shu to follow up. It's going to be Viz versus Preston. Preston gets a touch on it off that 50. Broncos gain some space off of it. Durtho having to reposition, runs right into Shu and is going to get demoed.
It's one of those one-on-one situations where you think you can get it. I didn't hit the ball, but I hit him, as we say, and it works out just fine. Vidge has an opportunity here. Woozy in a weird and precarious spot is able to make the save somehow. So Boise State gifted a golden opportunity there to get this ball back out as Woozy tries to do something, is not able to, as H pushes this one forward. And it looks like Durtho will be able to recollect himself here. Boise State still on the back foot. Colorado looking to pick up their first win of this series. 60 seconds left on the clock as Preston puts this one on the side of Colorado. Woozy fires in! Boise State takes a lead with 52 seconds. Again, Preston with a beautiful touch here, pushing it through. Woozy takes the nice sharp turn and finds a beautiful piece of real estate known as the opposing net, wide open, and strikes true.
With less than a minute to go, can the Rams equalize again? Woozy wins the kickoff, sets it up in front of the Rams' goal, but Boise State picking up boost at the moment. Now they can come in, get a shot on the goal. Preston trying to stop the clear from going through. He plays off the wall. Uses it as his flip reset. Durtho hanging back on field, though, doesn't want to get too gun-ho about picking up another goal.
It was a nice look, a nice opportunity. As fancy as it was, nothing really comes of it here. Off of the wall, Preston almost there, but Shu equalizes with 28 seconds left to go here on the clock. Again, Durtho had something there. H just janks it from him. Viz to Shu, all three members of Colorado State able to make that play happen, and it's a beaut.
Poetry in motion, I always say, if all three team members chip in on a goal. Durtho isn't appreciating the artistic beauty, however. He immediately goes for a demo against Vidge, and Woozy also brings one out onto H. The Broncos getting chippy in the final few seconds of the match. They do not want this one to go to overtime.
That was a beautiful little pinch there, flying up. Woozy with the shot is awesome. Is turned away just as quickly, though. Preston now looking for something off the wall, maybe a repeat of what we just saw. H is up, Vidge is there, the ball is down. Vidge is able to turn this one away. We could be seeing some extra minutes here as Durtho's going to put this one off the wall. It's still dangerous. Preston flying through, trying to find something, but we're just going to spike this and see our first overtime of this series.
And this one is to decide the match. If the Broncos get the goal, they win it all. And Preston right off the kickoff. Not even 5 seconds in, the Broncos end it.
Preston says we already played 5 minutes. I don't want it anymore. GTFO, which means get the funk on, as he dances his way into that net. Splash, and closes this one out. Boise State will take the series 3-0 decidedly.
I was very nervous there for a big portion of the game. When Woozy had that back pass that turns into a goal, I was thinking the worst might come to pass, but the Broncos recovered beautifully from it, go 3-0 in their CRL match.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, every member of that team had their shining moments, and it's to be expected as far as this Boise State crew is concerned. In Colorado State, they fought as hard as they could, but in no way, shape, or form were they able to really take a lead. I think for maybe 25 seconds in game number 2, they had a spark of hope that, hey, maybe we can surpass where we have been, and the Broncos just shut them down so unbelievably quick. So awesome job by the Orange and Blue to continue on and pick that victory up over Colorado State.
Well, if you are the coupon clipping type, then the CRL is just the league for you, because they always have a 2-for-1 deal every single week. 2 games back-to-back. The Broncos looking to get to their next match, but we'll take a short break to catch our breath and then be back with more CRL action, see if the Broncos can stay undefeated.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it. Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. You're joining us back in Boise State's CRL journey. They just picked up a win against Colorado State, but it's always a doubleheader as far as CRL concerns, so the Broncos have one more opponent to go up against, and we will find out very soon the answer to the question, will the Broncos season remain undefeated? I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, helping answer that question for you alongside Adam Chizu McGuire. And Adam, give us a little bit of a preview of what's next on Boise State's docket as far as opponents are concerned.
Well, looking to remain untouched, the Boise State Broncos will have to go through UT Arlington, a team they are very familiar with their time as far as CRL is concerned. But right now, it looks like the Broncos can do no wrong. We'll see if they're capable of continuing on after that 3-0 series. You got to be feeling pretty good going into the next match.
But you don't want to underestimate University of Texas. So many of their campuses, whether it's UT Arlington or especially UT Dallas, the Comets, frequent postseason rivals of the Broncos, so they can definitely stand up to them. But I think what's most important is every win counts for the Broncos, because it's not just that you win in CRL, it's by what margin you win. Every single game helps contribute toward points, and scoring very big in the fall can make it so maybe you could lose a few in the spring, but still have enough points overall in the year to make it to the finals in summer.
Well, and again, while I don't have any scientific backing for this, if you have that big number one next to your standing, it makes people gun for you even harder. You're the one to beat on the opposite spectrum. If you're like, oh, we can drop this game, we don't have to play as hard. Sometimes that can get into the heads of some of these players. So, yeah, as you mentioned, the wins are important. The bigger wins are even better. Making statements for yourself in the field really do push yourselves forward as far as the standings and the grit, if you will, the effort that you put in. And people are going to be gunning for you if you're in that number one slot.
It brings up a quote that head coach Doc Haskell said a little earlier tonight: the last thing you want to be is favored going into a match. I can also think of some other things Doc has said many, many times. It's his keys to the game in Rocket League, and that's to create mistakes, punish double commits, don't overstay, and bump opponents to disrupt. Brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who wish to level up their skills. You can play in free and paid entry matches online, tournaments to help with cash prizes that you can compete for, whether you're a new player or a veteran. Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Ready to head back on down to the virtual field as far as CRL is concerned. And I do have to say, CRL is my favorite just because of a little lighthearted reason. Not just because it's the top tier of competition in Rocket League.
That would be too easy.
But they actually appreciate the aesthetics of everything Rocket League can give. We do not see, Manifield Night every single single match.
Forbidden Garden.
New York, Neo Tokyo. We go underwater sometimes. Sometimes we're on a planet, the moon, to play. And I just love the change of scenery that CRL always brings.
Absolutely. Well, and again, we just mentioned that Boise State is hot. They're gunning for it, man. Every single player here getting involved in some way, shape, or form. And we're not just talking shots on goals. We're not talking about fancy carries from the midfield. One of those keys of the game was to bump. Every single one of these members has played a little Twisted Metal today as they've been removing opponents from the field. And we're jumping into this one a little bit late, as it looks like, with 3:44 to go. And as I mentioned, we start that whole Twisted Metal situation with the Boise State Broncos in dark blue and the UT Arlington looking at that light blue, that teal, if you will, as this one looks to be a 0-0 with 3:30 to go.
It's kind of a battle of the twins because both of these teams are the Broncos.
Oh, that'll be confusing.
So we're just going to have to say Boise State to differentiate. Woozy trying to set it up with a centering play. Caribou is going to chase it around the corner, meeting with Durtho. Durtho keeps the clear from going through. Ball is high at first, keeping it away from Durtho. Pushes it past midfield. Both teams are trading back and forth, ping pong style in mid, trying to get possession.
And Caribou right there is going to do just that. Durtho double commit there from the side of the Boise State Broncos. Even pushes Woozy on the way out as Verse puts that one on net. But it's so slow and so far to the side. Really not much of a danger here as Verse going to continue on. Nava pushes this one over, but Preston finds a way. Carey going to stop any momentum there from the Boise State Broncos. That whole horse thing's going to mess me up as far as this one goes. And speaking of getting messed up, that shot goes too wide. Not exactly where you wanted it, but Durtho looking for something here, not able to find it. Preston with a great little flight and a better push off of the wall. Durtho with a little fake there allows Preston to carry this one up and over, but Nava will be able to stop the aggression. That center right there could have been dangerous, but Adverse had taken out Woozy. No strike there from the Boise State Broncos.
All the way back to UTA's corner, and Woozy goes charging right into the backboard. Preston comes in on the follow-up. Shot on goal is going to go through, save, credited to Adverse. UTA trying to find what clear they can use. Caribou moves in. Adverse gets a touch on it, sends it high back toward Broncos goal. Preston's going to pass it off to the side, see what Woozy can do with it.
Oh, nice little steal there from the side of Arlington. As Adverse is going to come up on this one. Can't really find a whole lot of momentum, so he'll find it there on the ground. Pushed out there by the side of Woozy, as Adverse should be able to turn around and make something happen here. But Woozy finds it, looking for Preston, is denied there by Adverse. Preston puts this one onto the field and isn't going to find much. Second touch not necessarily there from Dirt, though, but still dangerous. It's open, and Woozy claims the first strike here. 1:34 to go. Boise State up.
Took a little bit of time, but they have come alive, and now they're looking good to be going all the way to match point for this one. 1 minute, 34 seconds left, though. I wouldn't be too comfortable with just a 1-goal lead. See if the Broncos can get a little bit of insurance backed up in the form of more goals.
Listen, if you're as bad as I am, even a 10-goal lead is uncomfortable. You ever throw a 10-goal lead with 60 seconds? It's not a great feeling. But I don't believe that's going to be the case here. Enough about mine. As Dirt, though, gets fancy on it, tries to carry, kind of baits out the defense there of UTA. Dirt, though, again, after collecting that large mid, is able to put this one up. And UTA is just kind of floundering around right now, trying to find a way to break out. This will certainly help off of the roof, but down on the floor, Dirt, though, is able to get the better of that arrangement. Woozy lying in wait. Preston is there as well, off the backboard, but Preston denies. And this is an unfortunate push. It's wide open if Boise State can get there. Dirt, though, had support if he needs it, but buries it himself. 2-0, Boise State.
And this just shows everything you can do when you have more resources in the form of a boost. You can make these flashy plays, beat the team to the ball, demo them while you're at it, and pile up more goals for your team.
And it's just one of those things where you put too much on that initial shot, and your defense is the only thing there. The one man who is left just gets absolutely obliterated. And it's off to the races at that point. So Dirtho finding the second here. Woozy now on the left-hand side of the wall. Looks to crush on through, but doesn't find anyone in the way. Preston with a great shot here that should be able to be corralled by UTA, and is so. Dirtho, though, not going to let this one go without getting his own touch there as Nava puts it on, but Woozy stops it in its tracks.
50-50 doesn't go in favor of either team. Preston waits under it, gets the touch first, pushes it off to the side, passes it to Dirtho up on the wall. Dirtho keeps going.
Faking.
Preston goes in for the follow-up. Dirtho secures the goal.
I said faking, and I didn't realize just how true that was going to be. Because you see Dirtho here, he kind of, I might do it, but Preston puts it off the wall. Dirtho comes from down below. He's everywhere you want to be, like a MasterCard, and finds the left-hand side of the net, putting Boise State up 3.
12 seconds left, and seeing as how this team isn't Uchizu, I think that this 3-goal lead is secure in the last 10 seconds.
You're not wrong, but you don't got to bring it up.
Well, you were the one who started it. You teed it up for me. I had to drive it out of the field.
All right.
There we go. Boise State up 2-0 going into match point.
Absolutely stellar there for the Boise State Broncos. Again, you see the accolades there. Dirtho just on fire. 6 shots on goal and just feels so good about it. Again, just the way that Boise State was able to kind of play with their food as far as that was concerned. The passing plays were great. The faking attempts were not even attempts, actually working out super well. And UTA just wasn't quite able to get the angles they wanted. Spent a lot of time on the back foot, and it kind of all started from that first goal.
This is going to sound like a non sequitur, but it comes back to the game. I remember in a class about modern civil discourse and stuff like politics, they were talking about opinion polls, and they said kind of the general rule of thumb, if you ask someone if they're for or against something, the most you can hope for is 60%. 60% is a landslide as far as polls are concerned, because everyone has such different opinions. If you can get that many people to agree with you, you're looking pretty good. I follow the same rule in terms of the general stats, in terms of shots on goal, and especially side control. Boise State had 65% side control.
Pretty good.
We were seeing so much light blue side of the field.
Right.
It was a lot more one-sided, I think, than the Rams a little bit earlier on.
And it seemed almost like a little bit of an impatience thing, like we were talking about. As we saw with Colorado State, it was just you hit the ball, it's going towards the net, but then the punish coming out of Boise State University.
This is so confusing to look at. Look at this.
So many Broncos, both orange and blue. It's a little confusing, but I think if Arlington UTA can slow this down just a smidgen, they might find a little bit of a better opportunity and the back of the net for that point, as they were skunked out here in game number 1. Boise State Broncos looking good now, 4th win in a row today. see if they can't make it a handful more, or if UTA will make the Broncos bleed. Wait a minute, that's them as well. That's going to get really confusing, Jim.
I don't think anyone on these team are masochists. They want to actually get the goals, and right now Boise State is going to find themselves with a bit of side control. Woozy pass to Durtho. It's aimed off the crossbar. Follows up.
He's a madman. He's absolutely sick. He's deranged. He's my kind of guy. Preston Durtho, who follows his own rebound here. That second touch was filthy. Watch behind your ears, my boy.
It is an age-old saying in Rocket League that the crossbar is your best defender, but Boise State follows up so much, it's their best assister. It just sets up the follow-up for them that they deliver on every time.
Caribou with a great little opportunity there, and adverse punishes immediately. No need for fancy plays necessarily right there. Carey with a basic push off of the backboard. Averse with the pre-jump just beats out the rest of Boise State, and we got ourselves a tie game. Only 30 seconds in, a goal apiece.
Next kickoff, they're going to have to rely on the cheat from Woozy, and Durtho comes in, but Nava beats it to him on the 50, plays it off the wall. Caribou gets the touch on it, back toward the Broncos goal. Woozy looking for a clear. Adverse pushes it back over to the other side of the field. Caribou, where's the follow-up from UT Arlington? It's going to be Adverse, keeping the side control locked down for the slightly lighter group Broncos.
The Teal Broncos, as it does look like Preston actually stalls that up. Woozy there to be able to push that one forward. Boise State still not with an advantageous situation. Durtho going to put this one up off of the wall, and Carey with the pre-jump is able to put that one on towards the Boise State net. Woozy with the save, spends some time in his own goal, and is able to stop the second attempt as well. Nava up here is pushed down by Preston. Durtho looking for something, but as you mentioned, that crossbar able to help out magnificently for the side of Boise State. This back pass didn't work out quite well, but thankfully for the side of UTA, they're able to push this one up and over. Durtho looking for something. He'll find the crossbar, push into the net, trying to get a defender out of the way. He's able to do so, but Boise didn't have control, so they're not able to take advantage of that situation.
Durtho drives it back to midfield. Nava plays it around him. Caribou waiting for a possible follow-up. Nava leaves it, though, for the Broncos. This huge opening for them. Plays it off the wall. Gets back all that ground. Can they turn it into a goal going forward? Durtho's going to try to push it around the corner to center it, but it's blocked by Nava.
Yeah, a great little move there from Boise State to move into the opposing side of the field. Woozy now trying to get something here, but it's just a little too slow, so no one able to get full control of this yet. Durtho fires on. Woozy looks to push, but Nava makes the save.
Boise State looking to stop this mid. It's going to be Durtho. He whips on it, however, adverse. Possible follow-up, but it doesn't come through for UT Arlington, so this game stays tied. One apiece as we cross the halfway marker. That's not going to be the case with Woozy.
I said fancy. I did not realize it was 25 karat gold. I think that's a lot of gold. I don't know. Look at that. Pass Nava. Caribou's not even in position. Right to left corner. Absolutely stellar there from the side of Woozy. Great carry. Great goal. Boise State in the lead.
Adverse gets rid of Preston. Durtho, though,
Hello?
trying to take it
Excuse
by
me?
himself. Follow-up by Woozy. Gonna head off to the side. Caribou gets the save, and Adverse demoed again by Woozy.
I was having a bit of deja vu there. You think that was cool? Watch it happen again. Right here, carrying it up and over. What a play right there. Tries to push it on in, but it requires two members from UTA to turn it away. Preston is just absolutely stellar there to make that stop. Woozy pushing on through. A demo as well, not only with ball control, but able to take out the opposing attackers as well. Adverse now, just going to put this one in the corner, hoping any of his teammates can help. Carey might just be able to pop it over, but Preston with great ball control here puts it over one as Nava lying in the wings looks for a second touch, not able to do so. Boise State able to break out.
50-50 stays in the center of the field. Caribou looking to corral it. Woozy trying to demo him, going Caribou hunting, but there is no prize for tonight. Broncos are going to have to keep on trying. They center it right over toward Adverse. Takes possession of the ball, runs right into Woozy, back to Caribou. Ping pong coming out in the center of the field, looking for possession, trying to set up for a goal.
It looked like there was a little bit of contention there in the Boise State Broncos goal as they're not able to really do much. That one's down, and Adverse is able to equalize this game with 107. And as I mentioned, it looks like there was a bit of a demolition attempt here initially, which leads to Adverse just being able to carry it off of the left-hand side, drill that one down below. So Boise State was taken off kilter. Arlington strikes true, and we got ourselves an even game with just above 60 seconds left.
Woozy seeming to be taken in stride, though, saying in chat, this is Rocket League. So the Broncos doing good at keeping their mentals level. With 1 minute remaining right now, they got to be dialed in. Preston trying to set it up for Durtho. Shot is too high. It's off the backboard. Maybe he's setting it up for Woozy to come in. Off the corner, trying to find the right positioning, but Nava helps ground the ball. Boise State gonna have to look for another shot on Durtho tries shot. He's not able to redirect it. Broncos still left searching.
Yeah, that pinch was not ideal as far as the second one is concerned, as Preston is going to reel on out here. Caribou going to go up. His teammate is destroyed as Woozy takes out Nava. The one-on-one is going to be 50'd out as Durtho now looking to make a strike. But that one's just going to be handed back over to the Broncos. Preston picks up the big, boots that one opposite corner. Just kidding, passing play to Durtho, who puts it top right. This looked like a defensive play initially. Preston just puts it opposite side. Durtho, huge pre-jump, and is just lying in wait to put that one in the back of the net.
And he's only a sophomore.
Oh, so plenty of time to get better.
Went to CRL Worlds in his freshman year. Nothing big, nothing huge.
Just a little bit of skill on those hands there. And that is more than likely going to be the series here, as Boise State just absolutely stellar appearance here. They are on fire today like NBA Jam. Why not? Put a fourth one in the net. Make them bleed Ivan Drago style.
You're saying a lot of skill in Durtho's hands. I would agree. Probably not the best posture, though. He is a claw grip player, and I've seen the horrors that brings. Mavis Beacon would not approve.
I mean, listen, I sit like a gremlin, so I completely get it. So a little different situation, but man, you look at that. And Preston, you know, just a couple of assists, just a few, but you look at the side of Durtho and Woozy, those demos coming in absolutely clutch. Again, 4-2 in the favor of Boise State. They're not even worried about the situation. 3 games, 6 games, doesn't matter. They're taking them all tonight.
Well, the Broncos remain undefeated in the CRL, which spells good omens to them going forward for playoff chances. But speaking of playoffs, it's time to go over to another league. NACE Star League last chance qualifiers are coming up. We'll see if the Broncos can secure a spot to playoffs. Before we get to that, however, we'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, which invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on iGuard Gaming. We'll take a break, be back with the final game of the night. Don't go away. That's the one thing that hasn't changed, the National Guard read.
Much second touch, not necessarily there from Durtho, but still dangerous. It's open, and Woozy claims the first strike here. 1:34 to go. Boise State up.
Took a little bit of time, but they have come alive, and now they're looking good to be going all the way to match point for this one. 1 minute 30. Pass it to Durtho up on the wall. Durtho keeps going. Preston goes in for the follow-up. Durtho secures the goal.
I said faking, and I didn't realize just how true that was going to be. Because you see Dirtho here, he kind of, I might do it, but Preston puts it off the wall. Dirtho comes from down below. He's everywhere you want to be, like a MasterCard, and finds the left hand.
Is going to find themselves with a bit of side control. Luisi
Dirtho.
pass to Dirtho. It's aimed off the crossbar. Follows up.
He's a madman. He's absolutely sick. He's deranged. He's my kind of guy. Preston Dirtho, who follows his own rebound here. That second touch was filthy. Watch behind your ears, my boy.
It doesn't come through for UT Arlington, so this game stays tied. One
It's
apiece
a-
as we cross the halfway marker. That's not going to be the case with Woozy.
I said fancy. I did not realize it was 25 karat gold. I think that's a lot of gold. I don't know. Look at that. Pass Nava. Caribou's not even in position. Right to left corner. Dirtho now looking to make a strike, but that was just going to be handed back over to the Broncos. Preston picks up the big boots that went opposite corner. Just kidding. Passing play to Dirtho, who puts it top right. This looked like a defensive play initially. Preston just puts it opposite side. Dirtho, huge pre-jump, and it's just lying in wait to...
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. You've been joining us for Collegiate Rocket League all tonight. We just finished up Boise State's 2 CRL matches, which they both won. But now comes a match where everything is on the line. It's NACE Star League LCQs, a lot left on the table and high stakes. I'm your host, Jacob Jen Palmer, joined by Adam Chizu McGuire. Chizu, why don't you tell us a little bit about the stakes for this particular match?
Yeah, so as far as this NACE is concerned, this is the round of 8. We'll be playing a best of 7. Of course, Boise State Broncos taking on Lubbock Christian. And as far as the categories and conferences are concerned, you've got the Boise State Broncos coming from the West Central 1 division, if you will, where they're 5-3 as far as what we have before us. And then as far as Lubbock 6-1 from the east side of things, this is an East Coast, West Coast kind of clash of the Titans to see what will happen. And again, top 4 teams will be moving on to those NACE finals like we were talking about.
I got to say, Boise State entered the LCQs by the skin of their teeth. They were actually tied with, I think it was Kansas, for 4th place. Both of them had a 5-3 record, and it went to round differential to decide it. So it was just as barely as you could get into the LCQ Boise State was at. Now they're at the match where they can go and claim their ticket to the playoffs. And you said it earlier, but I was covering NACE Star League LCQs a little earlier this week, and during that broadcast I said all of these games are what I like to call the caster's fright, but the player's delight, the best of 7s, because they are long slogs, but boy, do the players love them.
Well, and that's the thing, is it really boils down to just, what kind of grit that you have. Is this one of those teams in situations where you like to just go out strong, heavy, you want to get this thing done 4 games and we're out? Or are you able to really figure out and whittle down your opponent's strategies? You're given a lot of opportunity for mistakes, but only so much before they start to bury you.
When you get into the playoff season, there are kind of 2 things that come out that weren't there in the regular season that can really test a team. The first is just playing in a LAN environment. You get to the semifinals, the grand finals, there are LANs, and teams that don't make it to the playoffs often, sometimes the lights, the crowd, the excitement can get to you. Another thing is just the fact that it is best of 7. If you're a team that doesn't make it to the playoffs often, you might not be used to the longer format. So playoffs really can bring in 2 factors, I think, that teams that make playoffs a little bit more often, like Boise State, might have an advantage going for them. Of course, there's a surefire way to make sure you have an advantage. That's to follow Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League. That's going to be to create mistakes, punish double commits, don't overstay, and bump opponents to disrupt. It's brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you.
Yeah, and as we take a look at these, every little piece of that, the Boise State Broncos have been very easily capable of doing from each and every player. It's not like you're seeing just one individual making shots, making defensive plays, demolitions. Each and every one of these players has had their piece of the strategy come to fruition. So we'll see if they can continue that on. So far, 6-0 on the night, but we're changing leagues, we're changing divisions, we're changing opponents. The Boise State Broncos, again, taking on Lubbock Christian, and we'll see what they have for us this time.
Oh, I indeed remember this team, having done NACE Star League all season. It's the Chaps, LCU Chaps. That is a species of roadrunner, by the way, so that is why their logo is like that. So it's the Broncos versus the Chaps. LCU has had a good season in their own right, 6-1 record. It's hard to believe with a record like that you'd go to LCQs, but NACE Star League, the only way to make sure you avoid LCQs is to basically be undefeated and #1 in your division.
Well, in East in general is just a very difficult division or conference, whatever words you want to use. There's so many amazing teams on the east side, and as far as the Boise State Broncos are concerned, West is pretty much the best given the day, but again, it is a very big hill for the Broncos to climb, as almost immediately no real position here. Preston is going to be able to get a demo there, but nothing really comes of it, as he'll take this one off the left-hand side. Try to get a shot on goal there, but Schmack is going to schmack it away.
Process gets one touch on it, schmacked. Looking to try to find a clear, but the Broncos are keeping it pressed right up against the Chaps. Royal and Process heading up the field. Process takes it toward the goal. Shot's a bit wide, however. Putting it into the corner. Woozy gets a nice touch on it. Pushes it back over to the red side of the field. And a demo onto Royal. Durtho tries to take a shot on goal. It's blocked. by Process.
Yeah, and Preston's going to put that one into the left-hand corner, not able to find much there. Why not put it off the right-hand side? See what happens on that situation. Momentum of the ball is virtually non-existent, so Schmax tries to put this one in the center, and it looks like Process is able to get it centered out. Second touch doesn't do much, but put it back in the corner for the side of the Chaps. That, however, is dangerous, and Preston with the jump is able to push it away.
Durtho moving up the field, right to midfield. Preston keeps the play going. Schmack gets one touch on it, setting it up for Royal. Broncos aren't going to contest it. Woozy's going to wait on the wall for the ball. Process takes it up midfield. Preston waiting on the backboard. Woozy going to pass through? Is he going to take it himself? He's getting a dribble. Can't get the flip reset, but it's a lot of ground. He's gained up, setting it up for Durtho, and the shot is blocked.
And it just goes straight to the defender. It's one of those ones where you think they're stuck in their goal, not able to do much. Defender is destroyed there as Durtho's going to take a little backflip here. Second attempt to put this one up and over. Durtho coming down, but not able to find an angle as Process is able to boot that one out. Royal will follow behind him as Process lies in wait. But Preston, beautiful shot. Demo in the air, and Preston finds it in with the help of Woozy taking out the defender.
Took a few minutes, but the Broncos have now found their lead. Great read by Woozy, clearing out the goal entirely. And Broncos now have 2 minutes, 50 seconds to build on their lead, or Lubbock Christian conversely can equalize.
And you gotta love that too. Again, picks up the big boost on the right-hand side. Woozy says, I got you, dude. Just put it on net, and is able to remove the only line of defense. Again, punishing those double commits like we were talking about. So Preston here will find an opportunity, stuffs that one away from Royal, but Schmacked is able to rotate from back post and push that one away.
Process placed off the wall. Schmacked also getting in on it, but Woozy coming in, passes to Durtho. Durtho plays off the wall. Preston to follow up, drives it into the left corner. Broncos go to 2.
That second touch off of that right-hand side wall was just so deceptive. 1 and 2, and bye-bye. Preston up and over. You think it's Woozy. They already committed, and instead Boise State finds the left-hand side, making it deuces for the orange and blue.
Oh, nice cheat by Woozy. Gonna give the Broncos the side control instantaneously. Process, though, has a nice air dribble going himself. Preston's gonna stop him, and Woozy takes it to the goal off the crossbar, and Durtho follows up.
Faking, 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 faking. You've been timed out. Faking as Preston comes up here. Woozy puts that one up at the crossbar. They think he's the one receiving it. Just kidding. His teammate from behind, Durtho, able to put that one easily right down the pipe and finds the center of the net. 3-0 Boise State. And you can see just the focus, the smile, the orange and blue feeling themselves here in game number 1.
Woozy moving over to his own corner, picks up his boost. Durtho waiting to block the shot. Woozy now gets the ball passed to him. Pushes it across midfield into the red zone for Lubbock Christian. It's centered, it's shot, it's scored for Boise State, 4-0.
It can be 90 miles an hour, it can be 3 miles an hour. This touch right here is a waste of resources. He tries to get back, not able to do so, and Durtho just rolls it on in. A nice little putt there, and finds the right-hand side of the net. Boise State running away with this one.
Boise State looking to build an even bigger lead. A demo getting pushed onto Preston. Durtho, shot. He's going to get a demo onto Schmack. Woozy passes it to Durtho. Huge bomber down the field.
Give him the hat.
Hat trick for Durtho.
Give him the hat. Give him plenty of hats here. This is ridiculous. Second touch here by Woozy is great. Durtho just happens to get the angle, and it looks like the Chaps are falling apart by the seat of their pants there as Boise State takes a 5-0 lead.
Kickoff, Preston gets the touch on it, pushes it into the corner. Process looking, where can he clear it? Durtho takes it away from him, leaving it for Woozy. Preston gets the touch on the ball. Schmacked going to say no to that one. Royal and Woozy, who's going to get it first? It's going to be Woozy. Preston with a redirect toward the goal. Process elevates up to try to stop it, but Preston keeps the play going. Off the crossbar, Woozy comes in for the follow-up, and it's a 6-0.
Like, you can beat them. You don't have to demoralize them. As Preston puts this one up at the crossbar, Durtho with the fakie, and Woozy sees the open left corner and just puts that one in top side. And Boise State right now just absolutely relentless here. You see the accolades on the screen starting to wrap around in some instances here as far as Preston is concerned. Woozy takes this one off of the ground. Schmacked puts that one away. But again, it's just all Boise all day here in this game number 1. Both members forced to go up. Woozy takes it up off of the crossbar. And that should allow Boise State an opportunity. Royal here puts it up, but Preston denies it.
Process finds his first goal, and Shizu, you consider yourself a globetrotter because the score is 6-1. I think we might be taking a trip to Brazil here in the last half minute.
Maybe like a Harlem Globetrotter. I do love spinning, balls on the top of my fingers, slam dunking over people. Maybe the little theme song. But you're right, we could be booking a couple of plane tickets here in the very near future. We'll see if Boise State decides to take their foot off the gas here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to push this one a bit further.
Preston plays off the wall. Royal elevates up, stops it in mid. Woozy keeps the ball going. Royal gets one touch on it, can't follow up, so Process comes in. Preston plays off the wall, resets. Durtho tries to take a shot, 8 seconds left. Definitely no time that the Chaps can make this one up, but the Broncos walking away with a pretty hefty lead, 6-1. And that's going to do it for the first game. Shizu, I know you have a League of Legends background. I want to say that Boise State very much had an AD carry performance. For the first few minutes, There wasn't a lot, but in the last half of the game, oh my goodness.
Hey, let me just tell you, I did hit Platinum 3 as far as Rocket League is concerned, which is higher than I've ever been in League of Legends. So as far as this is concerned, it's awesome to see the Boise State Broncos just absolutely demolish the Chaps right there. You want to hope that the Chaps have a way to kind of recollect and come back. I am a super tilter, so I'm already done in this best of series if I'm sitting in any one of these chairs at that point. But it's just one of those things where, again, the Boise State Broncos just did not want to stop. They were not going to relent in any way, shape, or form and continued to put the ball in some of the most precarious situations and found nothing but gold.
If you've been joining us all season for the NACE Star League on NACE Star League's channel, you know that earlier on Wednesday we saw the Chaps go up against Purdue Pride in the round of 16. And the thing that I like about how NACE schedules these broadcasts is at the beginning of the season we were told top 2 teams go on to playoff. That's sort of half true. Top team gets the automatic ticket to playoff, but to get the number 2 spot, it's either the second place team in the division or third place team in the division. So when LCQ comes around, they jumble all the teams up playing across divisions. And what I like about each match is it's always a second place team going up against the third place team. So you kind of have the drama. If you're a second place team, you position yourself, I'm the one who truly deserves this ticket.
I own this place.
But Boise State is coming in as the third place team looking to steal it away from the Chaps and go to playoffs themselves.
Yeah, and they're looking good while doing it. Again, a victory is one thing. A true demoralizing victory, that's a whole different piece of the mental puzzle. So Broncos looking good as far as the Chaps are concerned. They can find a leg to stand on. It's not like they got completely blown out, but at that point, you have to start to wonder, what can Lubbock do to find themselves a victory here in game number 2? Or will Boise State continue to put on the pressure? This one is dangerous. Durtho, though, able to easily corral this around. Preston fires it on. Royal, the savior there.
Ball heads over. Process going to take it toward the Broncos goal. Preston tries to block. Woozy is going to be able to walk away with the save. Durtho demo schmacked. Now will the Broncos turn that into a clear? He looks on, Process blocks him. Dangerous positioning for the Broncos. Royal takes a shot on the goal. Broncos still walking away with 0 goals scored for the Chaps, but it's still looking dangerous.
Yeah, Boise State needs to find a way to get this ball out of here. This could be a very favorable situation. Durtho puts this one down from the mid to the left-hand side. Should give the Boise State Broncos a chance to recollect as Preston going to fire this one left-hand side. Durtho's there, hunting for the demo, is going to find it. The question is, at what cost? As this one comes up, Woozy able to get a nose on it, processes up. Preston as well and gets it off the backboard. This one fired through, but Durtho with the golden gloves is going to knock that one away like a keeper of a century. Defensively, offensively, Durtho is everywhere here in this match.
Oh, a bump into Preston. I like that disruption by the Chaps. This could be an opening for them. It's on the front post. Durtho blocks it and walks away from that one. My heart skipped a beat there, but the Broncos are still managing to keep this at a tie.
Yeah, this is completely opposite of what we saw in game number 1. The Chaps here just firing on all cylinders this time around. Process is up, beaten by Preston. Woozy fired on, and Schmacked gets a last-second touch there to put this one into the left-hand side corner. Durtho still not quite done yet, pushes on through as Woozy is able to continue the aggression.
And that's one of the beauties about a best of 7, unlike a best of 5 or 3. If a team gets off to an explosive start, wins a few games, it's not the end, because we see plenty of teams miss one game or two and then come back, all regenerated, recharged, know how to play against the other team, and makes these best of 7s long, drawn-out slogfests.
Yeah, absolutely. Schmack puts this one off the right-hand side, but Boise State immediately turns it into an aggressive play for themselves. Durtho lying in wait, is able to steal this one on the ground, gets his little fancy feet going here. Left, right, in between, Woozy fires, and again, Durtho knocks the defender away and just says, "My liege, if you will," and leads this ball right in. Let's take another look here. Woozy puts it through. Durtho says, "Get out of my way." Pushes Schmacked out of contention to save that one. Boise State with the lead, 2:52 to go.
Royal wins the kickoff. Process keeps going over to Boise State's corner. Ball high in the air. Durtho gets the first touch, tries to keep the dribble going. Royal's going to stop him. Woozy now looking up the field. Does pass to Durtho or keep it himself. Gets the flip reset, but grounds before he can continue. He's getting a lot of ground, and it's demoed. Process. Royal gets a touch on it. Woozy blocks it. Broncos looking to get their second goal.
Yeah, that smoke screen probably caused a little bit of issues for both sides of the field. So looks like Preston's going to push this one down. Should come on out. Woozy could be there, but Schmacked is going to get to it first. The carry, this reset, not going to be used here. Big bop there from the Boise State Broncos. Should allow them to take another look at this. Push to the center. Preston going to put that one up off the left-hand side wall and try to look for something else. Second touch not going to be in their favor as Woozy comes on up, pushes that one for Process to Royal. Down the center, Schmack's looking for something, but just going to put that one in the corner as well. Preston should be able to gather that as Durtho looks for more.
Woozy takes the ball around the corner, plays around Process. Schmacked puts a shot on goal. Durtho blocks. Boise State moving back up to midfield. Royal's going to keep the pressure on them. Durtho plays around him, but he's not able to get past midfield. Process blocks it. Schmack takes a shot toward goal, and it's blocked by, looks like, all three of the Broncos there.
I was going to say, it took all of the efforts combined, but they were able to turn that one away, and now Boise State on a bit of an attack there. Process is going to take out Woozy, but this one's centered up. Woozy is there, able to get that touch and turn it away, so you got to love that. A little Miles Morales impression there as we Spider-Man it here off of the wall. And it's just a bit of contention here as far as corners are concerned. Boise State really not sure what they want to do here, taking their time. Durtho puts that one up and over as Process comes barreling in. Royal puts it up off of the axles. Woozy has an opportunity. Is Process there? He is not, as Woozy takes an offensive maneuver and carries it all the way.
Doc Haskell, head coach, often says it's just one clear that can do it for you, and Boise State every now and again pulls off these shots from way back on the field past the mid-marker and turn into beautiful goals. Now with 1 minute left, Broncos lead by 2.
Well, Preston going to get a nice move off of this one. It's wide open, is able to set this one up, hits the defender, and Durtho with the finish. 3-0 Boise.
Boise State in both game 1 and 2 just wait for the final few minutes and then just come alive.
What a beautiful little setup there from the side of Woozy. Says, no, you go first. No, you. And just allows his teammate to get a beautiful little touch there. So Boise looking good. 50 seconds left to go. You have to believe that this is going to be the end. Just kidding. Give Woozy the hattie here. Boise State, again, just when you think they're done, they find another beautiful textbook play. Preston to Woozy. Nobody there for the Chaps. And so Boise will take full advantage of that and find their fourth of the day.
47 seconds left, and the Broncos have just piled on their lead. Royal, one touch, goes for two. Durtho grounds it. Woozy comes in, plays around the corner. Smacked is going to keep that off to the side, picks up his 100 boost, moves up the field. Durtho comes in, contesting the ball. Process gets a touch, setting it up for a possible shot on goal, and Royal gets his shot blocked.
I love the courage and the assuredness there as Boise State puts that one down in front of their net, knowing their player will be just in the right position to turn that one away. if you're on the offensive side of that thing, you're looking to put that one on net, but Boise State just denies it. Another shot on. Royal turns that one away as Woozy looking for more to Durtho, who puts it on the left-hand side. Should be able to just put this one down, and they are able to do so. Boise State, again, massive victory here in game number 2. Look at all those accolades on the side of Woozy.
You were talking a little bit earlier this game about some of these teams come out of really tough divisions, especially in the East. In one of the games, I believe it was Overwatch, there were the divisions East 1, 2, and 3. And depending on which you were, you either had to go up in a division that had St. Clair in it, a division that had Maryville in it, or a division that had Fisher in it. So it's like East 1, 2, and 3 are dangerous divisions to be placed in. So, you know, you can make the argument that Lubbock Christian, you know, the Chaps, they've been forged by fire. They've been placed in a really tough division.
Right. Only way to get better is to lose a handful of times. You know, you get more from the losses than the victories. Everybody's heard that. You know, at this point, Boise State right now looks like they can do nothing but win. Right now, they're looking phenomenal. Whether it was our 2 games beforehand, the differential has gotten even larger now. And I don't think that's a call to necessarily the quality of opponent, but rather the quality of these Boise State Broncos. They're just absolutely firing on all cylinders. The plays look amazing. Whether it's offensively, defensively, they're just looking super, super good today.
But the one thing Doc says, you know, you don't want to be favored because we were talking a little bit, not only does that place a target on your back, but can it also breed complacency. And that really bit the Broncos earlier on in the NACE Star League season. In their first 3 games, they went 1-2, and that early in the season was enough to mathematically eliminate them from just naturally qualifying.
Right.
So they've had to work all this season making up the mistakes of the first few weeks to make it to LCQ and say, no, we are, in fact, going to be going on to the playoffs.
Yeah, and again, 6-1, 4-0. I mean, these score differentials are absolutely massive. And you have to wonder here in a best of 7, does this momentum carry on, or has the side of Lubbock found a way to wiggle through and find a victory here, because they are hunting and time is running out for them. They need to make a statement. They need to make it now, because 1 goal to 10 does not look good, and that one right there looks even better for Boise State. 5 seconds down, never mind, another textbook face-off, another beautiful flight. Royal should have been there, but Durtho was more there. Oh, Team Liquid Car, never mind, this game is over. Boise State takes it 10,000-1. It's over, sorry. Is that a bias? Am I allowed to be that biased?
I don't know if it's bias or cope based on how the season's been going so far.
We're not going to talk about that. The Boise State team Liquid is winning. That's all that matters. Durtho puts this one up, is not able to find the second touch there. But, yeah, Woozy has now officially become my favorite player. So it's over.
Process elevates up. Going to leave it for Royal, but Royal didn't elevate up to finish the shot. That gives Broncos the opening to clear it all the way back over to Chaps territory. Woozy drives it around the corner. Durtho goes in for the follow-up, but it is blocked. Durtho trying again, keeping the play alive. Woozy doesn't get the touch he wanted. Preston has to go in, trying to do some fancy footwork, but gets blocked by Process. Placed over by Durtho. Another shot on goal, but still tied. Boise State still at just 1 goal.
Yeah, and again, maybe tied up at that point as far as in the air. It looks like a very sketchy situation that Boise State might have had another shot on, but Durtho just comes flying by, his best wee impression. Nice slow play there, allows for Woozy to do this one and forces 2 members of Lubbock to commit to that ball right there. Preston is up, but not able to make the touch. Woozy will slow things down for a quick second, tries to get a touch on the ground, not able to do so, as Durtho just going to make sure he can get a little bit of play there. Nice little fakey backflip there. The one-on-one is turned away there by Schmack as Woozy puts this one towards the net, forces Process to make a move as well.
Durtho gets played over. Preston gets 1 touch. Durtho moves back, plays off the wall, gets it to tap, trying to leave it for Woozy, but Schmack wins the 50. Preston stops it from becoming a shot on goal. Process setting up for Royal. Durtho's going to have none of that. Pass it to Woozy, and we're back over toward Chaps.
That was super sketchy there from the side of the Chaps. That one just rolls in, and by it's sketchy, I mean textbook, drawn up, and well executed. That one right there pops out. Process, I'm not sure what he was looking for right there, but Durtho just puts that one straight down the center. Notices all 3 members of Lubbock there on the left-hand side corner. There's no one on the right, let alone the center, so you might as well just fire on net.
Royal pass to Durtho, ball high, and Durtho goes chasing after it, gets the flip reset on the ceiling, now goes toward the goal. Woozy tries to follow up, gets blocked. Schmacked and Preston in mid, fighting for possession. Preston tries to pinch it off the ground. It doesn't work. Durtho now is going to take here. He's trying to play around Process, and Process reads his shot beautifully.
Aerial on the floor. Durtho's got it all, man. Process forced to make the save there, and it is a good one at that. As Process now will have an opportunity to carry this one through, but basically hands it over to Woozy, but then takes his life in the process. Preston fires it on, but directly angled towards Schmacked right there, as Woozy now carries it here on the right-hand side, as Chappies will be able to have an opportunity, and they do find one. Schmacked puts it in and puts them within striking distance of Boise State.
Nice job by Lubbock Christian. This is going to prevent, you know, they've had 2 games in a row where it's kind of been 4-0, 6-1, so being able to tie it up with every game that passes, it gets closer and closer.
We take those, as they say. Woozy here going to carry it off of his defensive end, looking for something, looking so good as he does so. Pushes it right into the corner, but Royal is there to find it. Preston should have had a touch there, was not able to do so. A demo there, right there from Preston, not going to do much of anything, as the ball still on the offensive side in favor of Lubbock. Preston pushes this one forward. Again, no real favorable touches to be had here. Process going to slow this one down and pushes it on through as Durtho looking to find something, but instead it's just going to be 50 right into the center. Preston pushes this one here to the left hand, and just a slow neutral game here for a quick second until Lubbock is able to push this one out.
Ball grounded. Woozy gets a double on it. Heads all the way over to the field, forcing the Chaps to retreat. A little over a minute, 1 minute, 20 seconds left. Demo onto Process, gives the Broncos time to regroup, find their potential clear. Chaps moving in to try to get a shot on goal. It's going to head on over toward Royal, who now moves up. He doesn't have boost to work with, however, and he can't place a shot on goal.
Oh, nothing worse than having a golden opportunity, but then being staunched by the fact that you have no gold in the tank. Process, though, looking great here. This one's going to be turned away by Woozy, still in dangerous contention spots. But Woozy to Durtho. Durtho off the wall, turned away there by Schmacked, as Royal is going to carry this one here on the right-hand side. Durtho going to interrupt any kind of momentum there. Woozy finds the right-hand side, is going to push that one through, but Process is more than willing to wait. An opportunity to fly, absolutely staunched there by Preston, as Royal now coming up from the defensive left, looking for something. It is a light touch at best, and Woozy should be able to work with this a little bit. Durtho looked for a demo, was not able to find it. Preston now here in the center. Schmack should find something, but instead, Woozy is going to interrupt. We're up. Preston turns that one away. Royal going to find Durtho in the center. Process looking for something, is finding nothing, and Royal doesn't have the angle he's looking for.
Well, it's a lot closer of a game, but the Broncos hold on to the lead. And if nothing happens in the next 5 seconds, they will move on to match point. That is indeed the case. The Broncos go 3-0, but it's getting pretty close. So I don't know about you. I think a secret weapon needs to be taken out. I think we need to go to the beach stage here in Rocket League.
Is that your official decision?
I think it's going to make.
Commissioner of
I
the
think
NACE
it's going to make Durtho feel a little bit more at home. He comes from LA, where it is currently forecasted tomorrow to be 73 and sunny.
Oh, that's
well, it's
nice.
Below freezing up here in Boise.
Had to bust out the winter coat on my way here.
I know.
I like that.
So, you know, maybe a home field advantage. Also, just explains why he's so good navigating the car. He's just been he's been born to drive his entire life.
Absolutely. The worst we have is 10-minute traffic from city to city. You go from like the gas station to your house, you're stuck in an hour and a half gridlock. It's amazing.
Whenever my family takes a trip over to the West Coast, California, you know, one of the many great tourist destinations, so I always come back home. Happy that I was able to take a vacation, but also going, I'm never going to complain about traffic again here in Boise.
I-84 is locked down, but you're stuck here for like 15 minutes. You know, you decide you're going to go to the grocery store. It's a 2-hour endeavor, and an hour and a half of that is stuck going, God, why aren't you moving? So, speaking of moving, we're moving on here to game number 4, match point for Boise State. And again, we saw more signs of life from LCU. 2-1, so they got on the board. They kept that lead minuscule, considering 6-1, 4-0 in games 1 and 2. So we'll see if the Chaps can do something here, or if Boise State shuts this one down. And another shutout. That'd be 3 shutouts back to back to back to back. as Boise State just looks to finish this one here, looking so good here in the NACE Star League. And as you mentioned here, Jem, it's for quite a big bag of marbles.
Uh-oh, but I have to wonder. They say, okay, yeah, Woozy still has the Team Liquid. I was thinking maybe swapped off, so I was worried there for a second, but this is still good.
He knows that he has to now. It is a matter of life and death at this point. If you change now, it's just mean, unfair. But as far as we move on, Preston pushing this one right towards the net, but it does look like Schmack will be able to get something there. A little bit of an odd double commit there from the side of Boise State, but they're able to peel out, recollect, and Durtho able to get a couple of touches here. A little bit of a bait there as Preston looked to push that one through, not able to do so. Changes up his car as well, looking super fancy there. Woozy with a carry, but is going to be pushed away there by Schmacked, I should have said. Preston just walks it on in, taking the dogs out for a little bit of a walk. Puts that one on a leash and yanks that one on in. Oh, Schmack gets baited so hard there. Preston just has to look at it the wrong way, and it goes in.
4 minutes, 21 seconds, plenty of time for the Broncos to build up an even bigger lead, and just runs right into Schmack, who was trying to cheat off the kickoff.
Oh
and the
my God,
Broncos
they do
turned
it
that
again.
into an early, I was going to say goal, an early shot on goal. Still okay, but let's go for better. Can the Broncos get another goal and go up to 2-0?
What a save there by Schmack to turn that one away. Still not out of the danger zone, as they'll say. Woozy puts it off the wall, not able to find anything there, but Durtho cleans it on up again. I don't know if I was faked, if that's the way it was drawn up, but boy howdy does that look good, because Woozy comes up, threatens, Durtho lying in wait. Royal tried to push it, but just the nasty, obtuse angle there from Boise State finds them up 2-0. You see the smiles, they're feeling themselves, you gotta love that.
That's the one thing that always gets me about Rocket League players. You'd think in a game as fast-paced and where the action is always at 100% like this, they'd have the most frantic communications, but they're always laid back, cool and collected.
It's very much one of those situations where you listen to any other game, it's I'm here, you know, just talking 10,000 miles an hour, sounding like Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. But no, Rocket League players are so unbelievably cool and collected most of the time. There are some frantic calls there, but this is a call as Royal is going to put this one up the crossbar, helping out as Durtho's able to slow the play down. Preston now frantically pushing this one on the left-hand side, allowing Woozy to make a move here.
Royal comes out of the corner, moving up past mid. Durtho or Preston has to come in. Durtho's going to play it off the wall. Schmack gets one touch on it. Preston not able to drive it past midfield. Woozy waiting in the goal. Durtho's going to push it off to the side, but Royal is keeping the screws tied against Boise State, and a shot on goal by Schmack is going to put Lubbock Christian within one.
Very curious here because Boise State had the boost to do something here. Preston was looking for an angle, just can't get there fast enough. And unfortunately, Durtho just wasn't able to get to that ball fast enough. But the tanks looked full, or at least moderately full. And Boise State just gets found lacking. And Lubbock is going to take full advantage of that. So Durtho coming up here, getting fancy with it. Nice little move, but Royal stops. Excuse me? Excuse me? We need to call BPD because I think we just witnessed a murder.
You know, you say they're not like Donnie from Wild Thornberries. I think they're more like Nigel at this point. Absolutely smashing and getting a 3-1 lead.
That was ridiculous. I don't know what happened, but the momentum was just not in their favor. Great little fakie there to Durtho. Durtho puts that one in the net. All three of those hats belong to him. And by hat 3, I mean 30. Great move there. Every single member of Boise State is allowed to play this ball, and Durtho just makes sure it ends with an exclamation point. Such a sick sequence of events. Boise State came to play 4-1 with 2:39 on the clock.
They earn so many hat tricks per game. If they put them all on top of each other, they start looking like Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. They've gotten so many goals for themselves. But right now they have to find a clear against the Chaps. Woozy takes it past midfield, but isn't able to keep going. Schmacked now setting up for process, but a bad touch leaves it in midfield. Preston can come and take this. Now drives it back up the field, and it's going to get passed back over to the side.
Yeah, this one by Preston, not exactly where he would have liked it. Durtho able to put that one left as Woozy's able to put that one further forward for the side of the Boise State Broncos. As again, Woozy looks for something, not going to find it. Preston's going to have to reset here. Durtho should be lying in wait But this one just comes out. Panic kind of touch there as Preston's able to push it on forward. Two members of Boise State say, hey, how are you? As this one pushed onto the right hand, Schmacht is able to get that one out of there, but Durtho not able to finish it up. So as it comes on through, it does appear that Boise State looking super good this time around. And Process here, pushing it through, but you know what? A minute 30 is not a whole lot of time to find 3 goals. It is possible. It is not necessarily likely, as Boise State looking so good, looking to move to 6-3, as Schmack puts this one off on the right-hand side.
Durtho around the corner. Process one touch on it. Preston comes in. He's going to clean that one up, push it off to the side. Now he plays off the wall again, but doesn't get the angle he wanted. Boise State a little bit caught in their own corner. Durtho is now going to be the one to give them a bit of breathing room. Move up the field, and Woozy clears it out for him.
Absolutely dirty. Why you got to do him like that? Durtho, carry, what a catch. What an amazing catch. This play alone is sick, nasty, and Woozy just opens up the way and just allows Durtho to continue on with that. A beautiful snag out of the air. Ground play, aerial, doesn't matter. Boise State's coming for you, man. And Woozy puts this one on. Process was in danger of being pushed away as well. Royal is up, as are 2 members of Boise State, but Durtho will continue the aggression here on the left-hand side. Getting real fancy with it there, as Preston is going to push this one through. Royal stuffs that one in. I don't think anyone from Boise State is quite there, so Woozy has to do something. Whoa. They can't even strike because the demos from Boise State are going to remove them from the field. So Durtho here looking to fire on. Uh-oh. Whiff, as they say. Not going to find anything there, but at this point, you don't even need it. Up 4, 15 seconds to go. Boise State just styling on them now.
10 seconds left, the final countdown before the Broncos get their shiny ticket to playoffs.
Boom.
Woozy is going to just put a little bit of sparkle on that one, push them up to 6-1.
And just an absolutely stellar final game here from the Boise State Broncos. They're doing everything they need and then some, and they're looking so unbelievably good while doing it as well.
Now just 5 seconds left to count it on down. Ball still in the air, though. Broncos could still take that trip to Brazil I was talking about. Can they actually do it? Make it 7-1 for a buzzer beater. Is the ball going to touch the ground?
Oh.
It happens! They went to Brazil. They ended it with a 7-1.
Unbelievable. These tickets are non-refundable, and Durtho just gets absolutely disrespectful with it. And it looks like, the chaps helped them out a little bit with that as well. Boise State busted out all the janitorial supplies today, and they sweep the evening. Another win here tonight, 3 in a row as they take Lubbock to the cleaners.
Well, it has been a great day if you are a Bronco fan, and a great night for us. And Chizu, who now has a new souvenir. That is the latest color of Boise State jerseys. We've had white jerseys, orange, black, but blue has debuted this year, and yeah, it looks sharp.
I've only been doing this, as we learned today, for 70 months as far as this Boise State situation is concerned, so I do believe I have every iteration of Boise State's jerseys, and I gotta say, this one's pretty fresh.
Yeah, I know. A lot of the players were excited about that, and they'll certainly be excited to be going into playoffs, but as we know, if you come out of LCQ and go into playoffs, you're going to be matched up against the top-seeded teams. And that's what makes it all the more important that you tune in next Friday on NACE Star League's channel, because that is when we will have our bracket reveal stream for the playoffs. And just as a reminder of Boise State, of who they have to go up against, I'm just going to read the teams that qualified already by being first in their divisions. West Virginia, 7-0. Akron, 7-0. St. Clair, 7-0. Siena Heights, 6-0. Rochester, 6-0. Shawnee State, 5-1. Nichols College, 6-0. Maryville, 6-0. Keene, 6-0. Kennesaw, 6-0. Ole Miss, 8-0. And Oklahoma Christian, 6-0. Tough competition going into playoffs.
Did you just see what happened on stage, though? You think these guys are worried? I have no doubt that Boise State will at least have something to say about any of those teams that you were just talking about. And again, they just looked unbelievably flawless today. As they go up against harder competition, Absolutely, something to be concerned about. But these guys hold their composure super well and are just so fluid with it. It looks so natural, whether it's on the defense or the offense. These Orange and Blues players are just absolutely dominating, and you gotta love to see it if you're a fan of these Broncos.
Well, one thing you're also going to love to see is the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Well, that's going to do it for us. It was great to have you back, Chizu.
Thank you so much, man.
It was great, and also great to see the Broncos performing so well in such high-stakes games. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your top 5 plays, and have a good night. Pushes it across midfield into the red zone for Lubbock Christian. It's centered. It's shot. It's scored for Boise State 4-0.
It can be 90 miles an hour. It can be 3 miles an hour. This touch right here is a waste of resources. He tries to get back, not able to do so, and Durtho just rolls it on.
Shot. The goal process elevates up to try to stop it, but Preston keeps the play going. Off the crossbar, Woozy comes in for the follow-up, and it's a 6-0.
Like, you can beat him. You don't have to demoralize him. As Preston puts this one up the crossbar, Durtho with the fakie, and Woozy sees the open left corner. Is able to steal this one on the ground, gets his little fancy feet going here. Left, right, in between. Woozy fires, and again, Durtho knocks the defender away and just says, "My liege, if you will," and leads this ball right in. Let's take another look here. Woozy puts it through. Durtho says, "Get out and wait." Pushes Schmack out of contention, take full advantage of that. So Durtho coming up here, getting fancy with it. Nice little move, but Royal stops. Excuse me? Excuse me? We need to call BPD because I think we just witnessed a murder.
You know, you say they're not like Donnie from Wild Thornberries. I think they're more like Nigel at this point. Absolutely